Good morning, it's Matthew here from Mattchatt. It's been a while since I've done one of these little videos. I've been pretty busy with work and speaking at certain events. For example, last week I spoke at the Global Azure Bootcamp, which is a global event hosted by local user groups, and it's a one-day deep dive into Azure. And this year was the 6th Global Azure Bootcamp, and I presented a session on Azure Blueprints, as well as co-hosted or co-presented on a panel with a few of my other presenter colleagues and MVP colleagues. Before that, a couple of weeks ago, on the 13th of April, I spoke at SharePoint Saturday in Cape Town, which is a great event hosted by the SharePoint community. Lots of energy, lots of fun. Anyway, so I've been pretty busy with sessions and presenting as well as other work stuff. So I've cherry-picked a couple of things that I want to talk to you about this morning. So let's kick into that. So first of all, on the 19th of March, which is a while ago now, Microsoft Teams turned 2 years old. Basically, Microsoft Teams has been generally available for 2 years, and to commemorate that, they released a blog and a couple of new features. The blog highlights just some of the numbers that have some stats about Teams, how many organizations are moving to Teams and using Teams for collaboration. And then they talk about some of the new features, such as the blurred background and the custom background. So not only can you blur the background, but you can have a custom background. So for example, in this video of me, I'm not using Teams, so I can't use this feature, but this background of the ceiling here, the roof, I could customize it and make it something pretty, like the beach or a mountain range or something. And then it would appear that I was standing in front of that beautiful mountain range. Alas, I'm using a video camera which doesn't have that custom background feature. Anyway, that's just one of the features that have been announced or are coming this year with Microsoft Teams, as well as a new whiteboard feature and a couple of other things. So check out the blog. It's just a nice little commemorative blog for Microsoft Teams turning 2. Then in the Exchange space, You Had Me at EHLO blog released an update to the hybrid agent. Now, the hybrid agent is, previously if you were running Exchange on premises and you wanted to connect a hybrid to Exchange Online, you would have to set up a whole lot of things, a lot of publishing between your environment and Exchange Online so that they could talk to one another. Now this hybrid agent creates a dedicated connection, a secure connection between Exchange Online and your on-premises Exchange. So it simplifies creating a hybrid. It reduces a lot of the stuff that you have to publish externally. So that's the nice thing about the agent. Now the agent is currently in preview, and they've updated it and added a couple of new features. One of which is a multi-agent, so you can have more than one agent for redundancy. Previously, a couple of months ago when they first released it, you could only install it on one server. Now you can have multiple. And because you can have multiple, you'd want to know the status of those hybrid agents. So there's now a way to view the status within the hybrid configuration wizard or using PowerShell. So this the post on You Had Me at EHLO just details the PowerShell command to view the status. So go check that out. And then the other thing is the third update, or the third thing in this update, is that you can now point your hybrid agent to a load balancer, whereas previously you had to direct it to a dedicated CAS server or client access server. Now you can send it to a load balancer. So there's a couple of redundancy updates and also just checking the status of that. Then next we had within the same space, Exchange space, You Had Me at Hello announced the new migration tool for G Suite. So migrating Gmail from or Google Mail from G Suite to Exchange Online using mailbox replication service. So that's a nice tool now to migrate from G Suite to Exchange Online or Office 365. And I believe there is a tool that goes the other way that Google developed, that if you wanted to go from Office 365 to G Suite, there is a tool on the Google side. Now there's a tool going the other way. Previously you had to do it manually. You had to either download all the mail and then upload it to Office 365 using Outlook, or there was an AZ copy, which is an Azure blob storage mechanism to migrate mail from G Suite to Office 365. Now there's the mailbox replication service that one can use to migrate mail. So this is pretty cool. I think also Microsoft are looking at developing a tenant-to-tenant migration strategy between Office 365 tenants, because there's a lot of that going on at the moment. In fact, that's a lot of work that I've been busy with, is doing mergers and acquisitions where companies have multiple tenants in Office 365 and they want to consolidate them, or decentralize, or whatever the case may be. And right now there's no tool to do that, or no native tool within Microsoft's realm to do those things. So we have to use third-party tools, and that means quite a lot of money. So hopefully something will be coming down the pipe soon from Microsoft that allows us to do tenant-to-tenant migrations natively. Then in the EMS space, Enterprise Mobility and Security, there's a blog in the Azure AD mailbag, and a chap called Karam Masri, who has done a lot of deployments of Windows Hello for Business out in the field, and has basically blogged a couple of learnings or lessons that he's learned from doing that with a lot of customers. So a lot of questions and answers, which I think is pretty valuable if you're thinking about deploying Windows Hello for Business. Windows Hello for Business, in case you didn't know, is another authentication mechanism. So if you have hardware that is certified on your devices, biometric hardware, that is fingerprint readers and face recognition cameras, you can use your face to log in, or your fingerprint thumbprint onto your Windows 10 devices, so your laptops. So what businesses are wanting to do now is implement Windows Hello for Business so that users can log into their environment using those biometrics. So this is just an interesting post with some of the things that people are not necessarily aware of that should look out for when implementing Windows Hello for Business. So check that out. And then finally, on the 21st of March, Microsoft, well, actually previously at Ignite 2018, Microsoft announced Windows Virtual Desktop. But on the 21st of March, it became available in private preview. So now you can test out, sorry, not private preview, in public preview. It was in private preview before that. So Windows Virtual Desktop is running Windows 10 or Windows Server as a virtual desktop within Azure. If you know about Citrix and publishing, or RDS, remote desktop services, this is essentially what it is, but within Azure. And the key here is that you can run Windows 10 multi-sessioned. So that means multiple users can log into Windows 10 and access their data. There's also something called, well, they're using something which is persistent storage, so that users can log in and have access to a persistent storage location. So for example, if a user is if you've got Outlook installed on the virtual desktop infrastructure, users can download Outlook items to their OST, and the OST is persistent across sessions. So when they log into a different instance of the session, their OST is available to them. Same for OneDrive for Business. So that is quite critical. Anyway, so have a look at this blog post. It just goes into what they've done and their partnership with FS Logic to provide this persistent storage. And there's a video on the page which gives a little overview of that. So that's it from me for this time, and hopefully you guys will by now be following me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If not, subscribe now and check out my blog post on Mattchatt, that's 2 T's in the Matt and 2 T's in the chat, .co.za, and hope to see you again soon.